The next topic is centroid and area moment of inertia. Because moment of inertia are of two types. First one is area moment of inertia and second one is mass moment of inertia. Now the area moment of inertia is concerned with a strength of materials, while mass moment of inertia is concerned with applied mechanics, fluid mechanics. Okay, so here we will deal with area moment of inertia. So first of all, what is centroid? So centroid is the center of the area. If you have a area, then the center of that area is shown by centroid. Now neutral axis always passes through the centroid, and moment of inertia or area moment of inertia is lowest about the neutral axis. So neutral axis always passes through the centroid and moment of inertia is lowest about the neutral axis. Now how to find the centroid of a composite body? Composite body means a body that is made of various areas combined. Some area may be rectangular, circular, triangular, or any shape. Shape is not defined, arbitrary shape. So centroid of that composite body, which is made of different type of areas combined. So centroid of that a composite body is find out using the formula x bar is equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 and so on, divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Similarly, by bar means the x bar is the x coordinate of the centroid and by bar is the y coordinate of the centroid, and these x1 x2 values are the x coordinate of the centroid of various areas. Means the x1 is the x coordinate of the area a1 of the centroid and y1 is the y coordinate of the centroid of area a1. Okay, similarly a2, similarly x2 by 2, x3 by 3, so on are the coordinates of the centroid of area a2 and a3 respectively. Okay, now we will have two theorems related to the area moment of inertia. First one is parallel axis theorem. So in parallel axis theorem, if you want to find the moment of inertia about an axis which is parallel to one axis or parallel to the neutral axis, means if you want to find the area moment of inertia about an axis which is at a distance d from the centroid of the plane and parallel to the axis about which the area you have found. So IC is the moment of inertia about the centroid and II is the area moment of inertia about the point, about the axis which is at a distance d from the neutral axis or axis passing through the centroid. Okay, then we have perpendicular axis theorem. Means if you have the area moment of inertia about x axis and area amount about the moment of inertia about the y axis, both x and y axis passing through the origin, then you will have the area moment of inertia about the z axis which is perpendicular to both x and y axis and passing through the origin also. Okay, so x, y and z are the area moment of inertia of the perpendicular axes. So perpendicular axis theorem is Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Then we will see the centroid and area moment of inertia about the neutral axis and about the base of the different cross sections. So first one is the rectangular one, second one is a triangular one, and third one is a circular one. So this is D is the depth and B is the width. Similarly for rectangle, H is the height, and for circular cross section, D is the diameter. Okay. So centroid at a distance D by 2 from the base. So centroid at a distance D by 2 from the base. Okay. And moment of inertia about the centroid is BD cube by 12, means the area moment of inertia about this green line which is passing through the neutral axis at a distance D by 2 from the base, okay, from the middle. So centroid about the area moment of inertia about the centroid is BD cube by 12. Also area moment of inertia about the base would be BD cube by 3. We get this from parallel axis theorem. Okay, BD cube by 3 is got from the parallel axis theorem, where you add BD cube by 12 plus area B into D and plus D by 2 whole square. So add these terms and you will get BD cube by 3. Okay. Similarly, centroid of the triangular area is at a distance H by 3 from the base. Base is also of length B. So about the neutral axis, area moment of inertia is BH cube by 36, and area moment of inertia about the base is BH cube by 12. Okay. Then we have circular cross section. For a circular cross section, we have centroid is equal to D by 2. Okay. So in the middle, the centroid is at the middle, neutral axis is at the middle, and area moment of inertia about this neutral axis is pi d4 by 64. Okay, D is the diameter. Now we will see three. First one will be the quarter circle. The second one will be the semicircle, and third one will be a hollow cylinder. Okay, having thickness T. So centroid and area moment of inertia of these figures will be, so centroid of the quarter circle is and the semicircle is 4r by 3 pi from the base. For the quarter circle, both axes, whether it's a x-axis or y-axis, both are at a distance 4r by 3 pi from the base that you are taking. Okay, means the vertical base or a horizontal base, the neutral axis is having a distance of 4r by 3 pi from that base. Okay, and area moment of inertia about the neutral axis is equal to 0.055 r to the power 4. R is the radius of the circle, radius of the quarter circle. Similarly, centroid of the semicircle is 4r by 3 pi from the base, and area moment of inertia about the neutral axis is 0.11 r to the power 4, means double of the value, means this is 0.055 r to the power 4 and this is double of that value. Then finally we have thin cylinder or thin circular tube. So this is the thin cylinder or thin circular tube having a thickness of T, and R is the mean radius, means outside radius plus inside radius by 2. So R is the mean radius. So about both axes, whether it's x-axis or y-axis, we have area moment of inertia is equal to pi r cube into T. So pi r cube T. R is the mean radius and T is the thickness. Okay. Now the polar moment of inertia is 2 pi r cube into T. From the perpendicular axis theorem, we get the polar moment of inertia. So polar moment of inertia is ix plus iy means pi r cube t plus pi r cube t giving 2 pi r cube t. Okay. Now we will see that how would we find the centroid and moment of inertia of a composite section. So this is a composite section in which area A2 has been removed from the area A1. So area A1 is a circular one, and from that circular one we have removed the area A2. So centroid of A1 minus A2 is x bar is equal to A1 x1 minus A2 x2 by A1 minus A2. By bar is equal to A1 by 1 minus A2 by 2 by A1 minus A2. Okay. So x bar and by bar are the centroid of the composite section. Okay. Composite section A1 minus A2, and this x1 x2 by 1 by 2 are the coordinates of the centroid of area A1 and area A2. Okay. So you have to define an origin, and from that origin mark x1 x2 by 1 by 2, and then you will have the centroid of area A1 and A2. And once you get the area A1 centroid of area A1 and A2, then you find the centroid of the composite section A1 minus A2. Okay. Once again, the area moment of inertia of this composite section A1 minus A2 is I1 minus I2. So I1 is moment of inertia about the neutral axis of 1 plus A1 into D1 square, and similarly I2 is I in A2 plus A2 D2 whole square. So I in A2 is the area moment of inertia about the neutral axis of the this area 2, and di is the distance between the centroid of area AI and A1 minus A2, means d1 is equal to distance between centroid of area A1 and composite section A1 minus A2, and d2 will be the distance between centroid of A2 and composite section A1 minus A2. Now we will see the moment of inertia of a I section. So this is I section, and area moment of inertia is equal to capital BD cube by 12 minus a small bd cube by 12. So this is assumed as a complete rectangular object having base B and depth capital D. Okay, base capital B and depth capital D. Now from this area you have removed a rectangular area. Okay, rectangular area of width a small b and depth a small d. So this vertical height is a small d, however b is the summation of this and this. Okay, so this combining this removed two figures, two areas, and that will be a rectangular removed from the bigger rectangular portion. So area moment of inertia of a I section is BD cube by 12 minus BD cube by 12. So capital B and capital D are the width and depth of the bigger rectangular section, and a small b and a small d are the width and depth of the a small rectangular portion. So add these two rectangular these two cut portion, and you will get a final rectangular portion. So this is the area moment of inertia of that portion. Okay, we will see further in the questions in the problem. So symmetric body, neutral axis is in the middle. Okay, similarly you can find the area moment of inertia of this. So area moment of inertia of this figure will be BD cube by 12 minus pi d4 by 64, because these half two portions will constitute a circle, and due to symmetric the area the neutral axis will pass through the same cut, whether it's a cut portion or uncut portion. the neutral axis will pass through the same centroid will not change, okay, because the cut portion is symmetric, so centroid will not change. So neutral axis is in the middle, and we will have the area moment of inertia is equal to BD cube by 12 minus pi d4 by 64. Okay. If the section is symmetrical about two axes, then centroid will be at the intersection of these two axes. Means if the area of cross section is symmetrical about the two axes, then centroid of that area of cross section will be at the intersection of the two axes. Like in this figure, that this is symmetrical about both axes, both are circular shape. Okay, it is assumed that both are circular one having side A, so both are having the same moment of inertia BD cube by 12. So instead of B we have A, and also instead of D we have A, so A4 by 12. So area moment of inertia about the neutral axis is same for both figures. Both are a square one having side A. So area moment of inertia about the neutral axis of both these squares are A4 by 12, but distance of the centroid from the most outside fiber, means the topmost layer. Okay, so by 1 is the distance from the neutral axis to the farthest point of the cross section, and here it's by 1 is equal to A by root 2, while for the second figure it's A by 2. Okay, so A is the length of the square cross section or the side of the a square cross section, so A by 2 is in the middle, and A by root 2 is somewhere in between. Okay, so for the first figure it's not at the center, it's away from the neutral axis. Okay, now we will have a strength computation, that if you are given the section modulus, then you can find the strength of the cross section or strength of the beam. So if you are given different type of cross section and you have to find out that which cross section is a stronger one, then you can find out that the section modulus of a cylindrical tube is the most, or hollow cylinder is the most. Then you have section modulus of I section, then you have section modulus of T section, then you have section modulus of a square cross section, then you have section modulus of a circular cross section, and then section modulus of a rectangular cross section. Now the section modulus of the cylindrical tube is the most, then comes the I section, then T, then a square, then circle, and then rectangular. And since Z is inversely proportional to sigma, that is the induced stress, that's why for the same bending moment, higher is the section modulus, lower will be the stress induced. So lower stress will be induced in the circular tube, then higher value will be in the I section, then T section, then a square cross section, then circular cross section, and then rectangular cross section. So more is the section modulus, lesser is the stress induced, and stronger is the cross section. So if you are given between the option that you have to choose that which one is the will give the highest strength, you can choose between the cross section. Okay, and lastly, if any question, if it's mentioned freely supported beam, then you have to know that freely supported beam means simply supported beam. So thank you.